The state of Texas is investing in the future of nuclear power, and Houston is at the center of those plans.
Here to break down what's happening and what's next is Naomi Klinge, energy reporter with the Houston Business Journal. Naomi, thanks so much for being here and joining us in the studio. Welcome. Now, you recently reported about the shift in how Texas, is thinking about nuclear power. Are we in a renaissance with nuclear power?
Yeah, that's the big question. I've spoken to several experts that have been in the industry for decades, and they said every 10 years or so, there's another nuclear renaissance. And so the big question is, will this one stick? But what we're seeing right now is nuclear energy, traditional nuclear energy growth has really stagnated for decades, since about the 80s. But now, since power demand is growing so massively, nuclear is starting to come back into the equation. So companies are really looking for ways to make nuclear safer and be able to deploy it a lot quicker than they would have in the past. So we're seeing a lot of developments in that space.
So how is Texas supporting this nuclear development, and why is Houston part of this?
Yeah, so the Texas Advanced Nuclear Energy Office, they're a state agency. They are distributing about $350 million to Texas companies to develop a nuclear energy supply chain in the state. So it's definitely moving forward. And the big goal of that is to bring down costs. And that's what we're seeing with the problem with nuclear energy right now is the economy, the economics of it is just not quite there yet. But if these costs can come down, then Houston will probably be first or second in the state in terms of deploying that energy. And a big reason is because we're such a big industrial hub.
Yes.
And nuclear energy can be used for new electricity demand, but also for existing electricity and heat demand, which we have a lot of here.
Electricity demand key, especially with all the data centers talk going on across the state.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. Okay, on another note, Venezuela's energy industry leaders, we understand, are in Houston this week. What should we be watching for when it comes to the push to re-engage, with U.S. energy companies here?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're already seeing deals come out of this week with officials in town in Houston and Texas. SLB, that's Schlumberger, they're a big oil field services company here. They announced a deal that they're going to be putting more technology services into the country, and we're just going to be seeing more of that in the next year. I was at an event yesterday, and executives were saying probably 6 to 12 months, we should be seeing a lot more deals, a lot more investment. It can't happen overnight. A lot of legal framework is changing in the country, but companies are already laying the groundwork now with ordering equipment, having those conversations to get ready to go full force into Venezuela.
So the state is offering like $350 million. That's a heck of an incentive, I would think. Also, you have an event coming up, energy event, September 24th. What is that about?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing an energy panel. I will be moderating, and the big topic is going to be electricity, because as we've talked about, that is one of the big conversations that's leading the energy industry. We're going to have representatives from Exxon, NRG Energy, and other energy companies on the panel, and they're representing all parts of the supply chain. So power generation, emissions reductions, infrastructure development for data centers. So I think it's going to be a really interesting conversation about this really big topic that just everybody seems to be talking about this year.
It is endless, no shortage of questions and commentary to come there. Naomi Klinge with the Houston Business Journal, we appreciate all the insight and having you here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You have a lot to report over the next coming months.